Right guys, so I have come to a brand new cemetery. Well, to me anyway. I keep on saying I'm here at a brand new cemetery, but all these cemeteries are like really old, but you get what I mean. It's like new to me. But this one is really big. It's in the centre of London, and yeah, I thought I would come up to this one. I was doing some light research online and to find some new different locations for me to actually take you guys to. And yeah, I am gonna feel really weird not going to cemeteries anymore, because October is nearly finished right now. And yeah, once again, this isn't really scary to me. Yes, I know that they're all dead people around me, but just to echo back what I've said in previous videos, this is really peaceful and tranquil, and yes, in a very morbid way, it's very beautiful. But is it scary? Well, yes and no. It is creepy, but it's not, oh my god, I'm gonna crap my pants in you in a minute, you know? Ooh, some squirrels having a little fight there. But yeah, no, it's, I mean, I find these graveyards to be really peaceful. I mean, there's not really many people here. So it's a really nice, quiet place to actually be. So yeah, I've got some coffee right now, and I've got some lunch. So yeah, let me just have a wander around, because I know that this place is a big cemetery, and I will see you guys in a bit. Also, I said in my previous video that, or one of them anyway, that I shouldn't have to keep saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway, that I am going to be super respectful of everyone I come across here today, whether it's staff or visitors. I'm going to be super respectful of all these graves, and I've seen loads of benches here, so there'll be plenty of room to actually sit. But if you are inspired to actually do what I'm actually doing, please just be respectful when you come to these places. I know that it's October and it's Halloween and all scary season, but just know that if you come to these places, just to remember that this is a place to actually be respectful in, if that made any sense at all. Also guys, I've been wandering around this cemetery for a bit now, and I mean, I know I keep on like saying, oh, I don't believe in ghosts and spirits and demons and all that type of stuff, but wandering around this place, this is quite possibly the scariest cemetery that I've ever been to. Don't get me wrong, I still don't believe in ghosts, but when you're wandering around this place, you can't help but get the idea that you're being watched. And when I say being watched, I obviously don't mean by the visitors here, you know, people walking their dogs and joggers. What I mean by being watched, or having a sense that there are loads of people around you just observing you, I mean the residents, to actually put it bluntly. This is the creepiest cemetery that I have ever been to so far, but hey, what can they do? Oh my god, I'm going to challenge the dead in a minute, ain't I? So I found a nice place to actually sit, and yeah, this place is a big cemetery. It's very old, there's loads of graves here, there are loads of people walking their dogs and people jogging here. I mean, whatever floats their boat, I suppose. I mean, it's a big cemetery, so they can get loads of exercise. But yeah, this is a really cool place to actually be. But today I am going to be reviewing a book, and this is one that I found in my favourite second-hand bookshop, and the cover got me a bit interested in it. It was an interesting cover, and I read the back of it and it sounded interesting, but when I finished the book, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Not saying that it was a bad book, but it was different than what I expected it to actually be. And that book being Skellig by David Almond. I mean, look at that cover, guys. It's such a nice cover. It's like an artistic cover, and it's got some faces there, and this is really cool. I think that this is supposed to be some wings, but yeah, I've never read anything by David Almond before, but when I read the author, you know, the section about the author, the first thing that it says is that it is not just his debut novel, but this is also a children's book. And this also isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought that this was going to be a horror novel, but this isn't horror. This is more of a dark fantasy book with a couple of horror elements scattered throughout, but as a whole it is a dark fantasy novel. So in the book we follow our main character, who is called Michael. Michael is a young boy, and he has just moved into a elderly man's house that's just passed away, called Ernie. So as I said, Michael moves into this house. It is falling to pieces, and it basically needs some TLC and to be redecorated. Michael goes in there with his parents, his mum and his dad, and we also find out that he has a younger sibling who is a baby. I cannot remember if it is a boy or a girl. I believe it is a baby girl, but I could be wrong about that. And Michael has a really good relationship with his family, and he also has a extreme love for his baby sister, I'm gonna say. He has a strong relationship with his baby sister, and he feels that he has to protect her and take care of her. We also find out that throughout this book she has fallen ill, and we suspect that, or we are led to believe rather, that it has something to do with the house that's actually making this baby feel ill. I just want to say at this point that the house in question isn't haunted. It isn't it doesn't have a ghost, or it doesn't have any supernatural themes to it, and that's made clear throughout the book. But what is made clear is that something in this house is implied to have actually made the baby feel ill, and that results in the baby being in hospital. And throughout the book we are thinking about, oh, is the baby going to be better or not, or is something bad going to happen to the baby, and you get the point with that. So while Michael is exploring the house and its surroundings, he comes across this old shed, or this garage, that is falling to pieces. Literally, if you press up against the wall, the whole building shakes. So he goes into it, and he just wants to explore to see what's in this building. What he finds is all these boxes and all this rubbish left behind by Ernie, the previous resident. But what he finds is more unexpected, and I wouldn't say creepy or weird, but that's probably the best way I can describe it. He finds a male figure crouching behind some wooden crates, and he is just sitting there, and he is covered with all spider webs and spiders and dead blue bottles. And Michael is like, who are you basically, and what are you doing? And he just wants to find out about, is this person okay? And they talk to Michael, or he talks to Michael, saying that he just wants to be left alone. He doesn't want anyone to talk to him, and he just wants to be left alone, and that's really it. Michael tells him that, oh, he needs to leave because the building is going to fall down, and they have some builders that are coming to knock it down and to work on the house. And he just wants to make sure that this man is safe and he doesn't come to any danger. This man doesn't actually threat Michael in any way. In fact, they do have a kind of a bonding session throughout the book, and they also have like a kind of a unique friendship. And the way that this man talks to Michael is kind of like in riddles or in broken English. He doesn't really make sense most of the time, and Michael's always saying, oh, what do you mean? And he is obsessed about eating Chinese food that the previous owner, Ernie, kept on ordering. So he keeps on saying to Michael that he wants number 27 and 53. And at first Michael's like, well, what do you mean? And then one day when Michael and his father are ordering Chinese takeout, Michael's father asks him what does he want, and he says 27 and 53. And we find out that he wants these specific numbers because that's what Ernie used to order when he was alive. And while Michael is living in this house, we find that he befriends this girl called Mina, who is very unusual to say the least. She doesn't go to school at all. She reads a lot. She is obsessed about drawing and observing birds. And Michael and Mina have this kind of sweet relationship. It's never romantic or anything like that, but it's a very sweet relationship. And Michael tells Mina about this strange man living in his garage, and he's like, well, come and have a look and look at this man and see if you can make any sense of this. So as the story goes on, we find out that there is these strange things on the back of this man, which we find out eventually that his name is Skellig, which is the name of the book. And I don't want to say exactly what they are. We do find out what they are, what these things are on Skellig's back actually are, but I don't want to spoil it in case you want to read this. And as the story goes on, it's just about the friendship between Mina, Michael and Skellig, and them trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And also we have a nice relationship between Michael and his dad, and to Michael and his mum to a certain extent, but throughout the book Michael's mum is in the hospital with the baby. Michael and his dad are always trying to redecorate the house and making sure that it's nice for the family to actually live in, and they have a kind of a nice bond with each other. It's really sweet. And that seems to be the overall theme of this book, is that it's not horrific. This is a very heartwarming book that is a little bit weird, a little bit creepy, a little bit unusual at times, but it's a very sweet and heartwarming book. So one thing that I liked about this book, apart from it being really small and really quick and easy to read, I like the characters in this book. They aren't super duper complex to understand and really deep and meaningful characters, but they are really good characters, and the relationship that they have with each other are very sweet relationships and interactions with each other. What I disliked about this book isn't really a lot. Yes, it's a children's book, and because of that reason it isn't super duper complex to understand. and it's not an adult book, but adults can read this and enjoy it. So I didn't really have too much to complain about. Yes, we don't really understand where exactly Skellig came from, or exactly what is he and what is he doing in this shed. And there are a number of things also that aren't fully explained within this book, but they don't really need to be. We don't really need to understand about where Skellig came from, who was he, what his intentions are. But yeah, there's not much in this book that I didn't really dislike, really, to be honest. So I'm going to rate Skellig by David Almond a 4 stars out of 5. In conclusion, if you want to read something that's not straight up horror and that is a bit different, really easy to read, both for adults and children, I would highly recommend this. Once again, this isn't horror, this is more of a dark fantasy novel. And yes, I would recommend this to children, possibly 10 and above. This isn't gory or horrific. There's no bloody and gory scenes in this book or anything that's going to scare them. It's more creepy than horror. So that's it, guys. That is my review for Skellig. Hopefully it hasn't been too long, because I've had to keep on pausing this while joggers keep on going up, and there's a train station over there, and there's been helicopters and planes going on above, so loads of disturbances, but never mind. Who knew that cemeteries would be so busy? Last time it was all cars and vans going up and down. No, it seems to be joggers that keep on going up and down, but never mind. But if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below, let me know, have you read this book or anything else by David Almond? If you have, let me know if you have any recommendations from this author. And if you have enjoyed this video as a whole, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you do, please click on that bell, as it will remind you whenever I upload videos, which are every Monday and Friday. I will have a link down below to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads. And with all that out of the way, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.